Hi YouTube, it's Darth Steve 333 back again to trouble YouTube. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone had a good festive period. Decided to come back on here and film another video. It's been a bit of a gap since my last one. Main reason being is there's not a lot out there that I've been able to find. Certainly not enough to justify a video a week or even a month at the moment. But I thought now was a good time to post something. So where to begin? As I say, the pickups have been fairly few and far between. I'm trying to be a little selective where possible. I'll come to that. Probably the first place to start is just after Christmas. I had a sort of collection of swaps and things to take with me to my regular game shop, and I thought while I was off between Christmas and New Year, I'd also go and have a look at another shop as well. I'd run into the guy before, bought a Mega CD off him at Revival last year, so thought that was as good a chance as any to go and have a look. Vintage Gamer, you'll probably see his page up on Facebook and so on. Nice chap. Anyway, so my first stop was my usual place in Sheldon in Birmingham. Took a bunch of trades with me. Give me some credit in the shop, and picked up some Dreamcast games. Now, interestingly, a lot of people, or a couple of American chaps anyway, or I think one Canadian, one American, have started a little series called Dreamcast. That's SeeJayAre and another chap whose name escapes me. I might put a link in below. But basically their goal is to collect all of the Dreamcast games in the NTSC area, whereas as I think I've mentioned before, I'm aiming to try and get a full Dreamcast PAL collection, and possibly the same for GameCube as well, but ultimately Dreamcast first for me if possible. So excuse me, I've just got in from work, thirsty. Yeah, first things first, I got some Dreamcast games, so took in a fair bundle of games, but they give me some good credit. Paid for most of these three, and I had to put a few quid on top, but basically three of the, I would imagine, harder to find ones, probably not rare by any means, but harder to find and usually a bit more expensive. Starting off with Psychic Force 2012, then Tech Romancer. That's one I've never actually seen in the flesh. I don't think it's particularly rare, but I've never seen it before. And this, which I'm very pleased to get, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So as I say, very pleased with that. Moved on from there to the other place, Vintage Gamer. I did get a few things, but like I say, I'm being a bit selective, and I can't honestly remember all the games that I got there. But one of them I got was this, which is for the PS2. It's a game that I've seen highly recommended by lots of people, so I thought I'd give it a punt, and that is Klonoa 2. So I've yet to have a go on this, despite actually picking it up a couple of weeks ago. That's one to have a go at, but everyone I've seen mention that game reckons it's an absolute cracker, so very pleased to have that. So going back to Dreamcast, I went to one of the, well, the bigger of the car boot sales that I frequent, and I was very pleased to see a chap with a table set up. He got gaming on there, some Xbox, I think some PS1, I think there was a few GameCube games, no sorry, not GameCube, Wii games, but predominantly he had a lot of Dreamcast games. What caught my eye was he'd got a lovely boxed House of the Dead 2 with the light gun, which I was very tempted by, but I do have the game on its own, and I have two light guns as well, one boxed, one on its own, so I resisted the urge to pick that up, but I cherry picked games that I knew I hadn't got already, so this is what I picked up. Echo the Dolphin, Fighting Force 2, Jimmy White's 2 cue ball, MDK 2, I think I might have shown this before. I didn't get this in the bunch from the car boot sale, but I picked that up. I can't even remember where now, but I was pleased to get that. Back to the ones I picked up at the car boot sale. Fantasy Star Online, Rayman 2 Great Escape, Red Dog Superior Firepower, Revolt, that's one I used to have, pleased to get that again. Sega Worldwide Soccer, is it 2012? Oh no, sorry, Euro Edition 2012. Sega Worldwide Soccer 2000 Euro Edition. Toy Commander and Wetrix Plus. So very pleased to get all this lot. So that was a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 11 games for the Dreamcast. Guy charged me 22 quid, which was quite pleasing. I think it pleased the chap that I picked him up off as well, because while I was making my selections, one of these resellers come round. I know I moan about them, I think others do as well, but he just come along and just sort of took a cursory look at it and went, how much for a lot? Which in English means how much for the lot. And the chap, I think, was a bit reluctant to sell to him in one bunch. Sort of said some of the things are individually priced, and gave a few examples, and the guy just gave a derisory snort and buggered off, which I was very pleased about, to be honest. This is sort of make it difficult for actual people that game and collect to actually pick up anything these days, so good riddance. Anyway, very pleased to get that. £2 on average a game is immense for Dreamcast, especially, I mean, these are all in great condition. I think the Rayman 2 box has been stuck, but that's a Dreamcast game box, you know, 1 out of 11 that's a bit damaged. I can live with that. So yeah, that's dramatically built up my Dreamcast collection. I think I'm over a third of the way there now, so a long way to go, but pleasing, and I keep checking them off on Retro Collect, so yeah, very pleased with that lot. I'm going to do this not in any particular order. Probably next, found this particular game. Oddly enough, I think I picked this, well, I saw this probably about 18 months, 2 years ago. Wasn't sure, went back for it after I decided, yeah, and it had gone. And I thought, oh, well, that's that. And since then, I bought a copy from CEX, quite overpriced, without a manual, not in the best shape, not in poor shape, just, you know, no manual. Box was a bit battered, disc had a few light scratches on. But lo and behold, I think the very same game come back. The reason I say this is because it had one of those, I think it was like a Blockbuster X rental sticker on it. So I've since peeled that off. And the game is Dark Cloud. So that is a definite upgrade from my copy, which doesn't have the manual. Obviously this has the manual. The disc is lovely. I don't know if you can see that, but that is minty. So very pleased to have that. And I've got obviously a spare copy of Dark Cloud now with no manual, if anyone wants to trade. So next I'm going to tell you what I picked up yesterday. Very quiet day, only the local crappy car boot, but I did find something of value. I was picking through once again just ahead of the resellers who sort of harumphed and stuff while I was sorting through this big box of games. This entire lot cost me £3.50. 3 PlayStation 2 games, 2 SNES games. The SNES games are nothing particularly to shout about, but I think this one is going to be an upgrade from mine. I've already got that FIFA Soccer. And this one, I don't think I actually have it. John Madden Football 93. So again, like I say, not particularly great in the realms of rarity, but if you see a SNES game, I'll pick it up. I mean, these look in good nick. I've given them a bit of a clean as well, so any dust and grime collected over the years is now gone. The contacts are nice and clean as well. So yeah, they were £1 each, and these 3 PS2 games were 50p each. So I picked up a bit of a shabby copy, to be honest, of Final Fantasy X, but Final Fantasy, I can't leave them there. This is a better copy of X2, or 10.2, very nice. That might even upgrade my copy, although mine is pretty minty as well. And the diamond amongst the rough was Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, which 50p. Again, I've not played this one before, but looking forward to it. I mean, the manual, the disc, brilliant. Someone's looked after that, which is really good. So yeah, mustn't grumble at that. Right, last couple of things. This was from a couple of weeks ago, again from the crappy car boot, but then I'd seen this. Let's see, I must have got this about a week and a half ago. Saw it before Christmas, and ahed, didn't ask about it because I thought I've already got one of these. Basically, it is a. Well, no, I'll tell you the full story before I pick it out. Seen it, thought about it, didn't ask. Thought I might pick that up if I come back. Plus, I was a bit short of cash at the time. Anyway, Christmas comes, goes, go back, see it there again. I'm thinking, be a shame to leave that there, getting all damp and musty, and it was, you know, sort of in a bit more higgledy-piggledy shape than the first time I'd seen it. So I thought, bollocks, I'm going to go for it. Like I say, I've got one already. Picked it up about 6 months ago from basically a friend who works in a charity shop. Picked one up off there, but it's Commodore +4. Obviously, it needs a bit of a clean, so I'll be doing that at some point soon. It used to belong to Philip, apparently. So there's that. There's some manuals, data set manual. Bit of a battered user manual and a software manual. Don't have the manuals for the one I've got, so I'll probably hold on to them, give them a bit of a clean if I can. Obviously there's the data set plus random piece of paper. Data set. Power supply and aerial lead. Joystick. Also, this was in here, which they threw in, which is like a VGA cable for the Xbox. So you never know when this might come in handy. So that was not a bad freebie. And then probably the main reason I picked it up, as well as obviously preserving the item, is got a couple of little boxes of games. So nothing particularly special. You've got SeeJayAre Kung Fu, or SeeJayAre Kung Fu, Powerball, Skyhawk, Frank Bruno's Boxing. Used to have that for the Spectrum. What's this one? Fingers Malone, Commando and Kickstart, or Commado Kickstart. Used to belong to Philip as well, obviously. Couldn't spell that. Gun Law, Speed King, Mr. Puniverse, game about me, name up in lights. Video Meanies. Obviously a lot of these are Mastertronic specials, so I've not even heard of them, let alone played them yet. And then you've got another case here, which is more of your sort of packings, I suppose. There we go. You've got Space Sweep and Invaders, Mayhem, Crazy Golf, Harbour Attack, Fire Ant, Treasure Island, Icicle Works, Exorcist, Number Builder, Number Chaser. Looks like a couple of copy discs. I haven't checked what's on those yet. And then we've got Tutti Frutti, Rockman, and The Return of Rockman. So I thought that was worthwhile because I've seen hardly any +4 games. So yeah, save that from the scrap heap, or from basically getting so dusty and manky that it just got no chance of ever working again. So while I load these back in here for safekeeping, probably best to tell you about my biggest pickup, I suppose, or it wasn't really off a car boot or anything, but I have started following a few of these game trading groups on Facebook. They seem to be populated by, in general, people that want to sell stuff for quite expensive prices, but every now and again you'll see something half decent when you make an inquiry. What I saw was an ad for a particular item, and it said, want to get rid of, this is my spare, it doesn't work 100%, the controller is a bit dicky, but it does work. So I sort of looked at that, followed it, and the chap mentioned he was looking for Nintendo Entertainment System or Atari 2600, and I thought, well, I do have a 2600 Junior and a 2600 Vader version, the black one, and I've also got a spare NES. Now, whilst I'm reluctant to part with any of my spares, as it were, even, I thought that is quite a good deal. So I responded, sort of mentioned I'd got these, mentioned the NES had not got a power supply. Had it got a power supply? No power supply for the NES, or for the 2600. But I showed pictures of them work. Well, I said I would show pictures of them working. So responded. They said, "Oh, sorry, mate. Someone's already expressed an interest." I thought, oh, well, never mind. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Anyway, about 6 or 7 hours later, got another message saying, "Steve, it's yours." So I got in touch. It was quite late at night then, so my 2600 Junior and my NES were up in the loft in storage. So I said, "Oh, great stuff. I will send you some pictures of my consoles tomorrow." And he says, "Yeah, no worries. Just keep me posted." So anyway, got up, had some stuff that I committed to, including had an old schoolmate come round. I'd put a battered old Game Boy Advance SP into a new shell for him. It was late. This was early New Year. So yeah, basically I've been waiting best part of 2 months for the shell to appear. So it eventually did. Put it in there. My mate come round, chatting to him for a good portion of the morning, and I had to go shopping. So I'm mooching around Tesco's and check my phone because my wife's dithering over what to buy, and look at this message: "Can you send pictures of your consoles?" I said, "Oh, not forgotten about you, mate. I can send them in about an hour." Sent that straight back. Got a message back saying, "Sorry, I've already sold it to someone else." I was like, "What? You can't do that. At least give me some sort of warning." So I sent him a bit of a grumble, to be fair, and he was like, got a bit defensive about it, and I was like, "Well, yeah, you know, your point that, you know, on this group, you know, you might run up against scammers and so on, is reasonably valid, but at least give us an indication of what your plans are if you don't receive any sort of response within a certain timescale." So yeah, anyway, I had a grumble, and then I found his advert, his secondary advert, i.e. the one he sold the thing on since he'd agreed to sort of swap it for myself, and just put words to that effect. "Oh, incidentally, you should know that this chap had actually agreed a swap with myself in principle, obviously given that he was happy with what I was offering him, but then did this." So the chap who had bought the item actually come back to me, a really decent fellow, and he says, "Oh, I had no idea." I says, "No worries, mate. You're not to know, are you?" I said, "I just thought you should know this has happened in case of any issues." And he says, "Oh, right, well, it's yours if you want it still." I says, "No, not a problem. You've sort of bought it in or agreed to buy it in good faith. So it's not really anything you need to worry about. Anyway, some time passed. I think it was either that evening. No, it wasn't that evening because I was in a foul mood for the rest of the day. It was the day after, the evening of the day after. Got a message through. Oh, the other guy's pulled out. Are you still happy to do the trade? I was like, could be a bit of a gamble this, given the track record, but the guy was very apologetic in the end. So I thought, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I went for it. And to be fair to him, as I say, he was pretty apologetic. I think, reading between the lines, he might have been quite a young chap. Not really sort of well versed in the matters of commerce, I don't know, or how things work. I mean, I'm not, to be honest. I think this is about the first or second time I've ever used that particular selling group. But anyway, time passed. I sent my thing off. He sent his, and after all that gabble, probably best to show you what it was. And it is a semi-complete Virtual Boy. I say semi-complete because it's not got the eye shield, there is no game with it, and the controller, whilst it looks in decent nick, there's something up with it, because basically this was the guy's spare, and he tested, he's told me he's tested the Virtual Boy itself with the good controller, and that it works. So my task now is really to get a new eye shield, get a new controller so I can get some power into it, or well, a new controller and or battery pack, and a game, because I found that you need to have a game in for it to power up. So never had one of these before, always slathered over one. I saw one in a cash converters probably 10 years ago or more. It was quite expensive then, but it was boxed, complete, apparently working. I couldn't afford it. I went back a couple of days later and it had long gone, so I'd pretty much written off my chances of ever getting one. So anyway, I thought it was a good trade for two consoles that I'd got already, albeit my 2600. I haven't got a spare, I haven't got two juniors. I've just got my Darth Vader one now, so I figure it's always going to be easier to pick up or find a 2600 Junior than it is another one of these, and obviously just got to hope my NES don't go wrong now, or that I find another one of them at a car boot and a spare. Anyway, so yeah, my next task is, like I say, get a working controller, maybe an eye shield and a game for the Virtual Boy. So narrowly missed out on getting one from America off eBay last night. Was looking at it, it went just beyond what I agreed to pay for myself. Again, it was sort of mentioned that it was not working as the guy had tested it, but I thought, well, it was complete with eye shield, it had two games with it, it had a controller which may or may not have worked, so I was willing to go up to a certain amount spent. The big killer, of course, with that is the postage and import charges. I think the import charges were nearly 11 quid, and I think the postage was best part of 30 quid, or possibly more. So, when you're talking best part of 40 quid before you've even bid on the item, before you've actually sort of bid up on the auction, it could be an expensive game. So I'll just keep the feelers out there. It's taken me this long to get one. I can wait longer. I'm going to try not to pay over the odds, but I am quite keen to give it a test. So, one other quick thing. By way of apology, the chap who sent the Virtual Boy said, because of the misunderstanding, I'll chuck in one of those. So I actually have this one already, and this is a bit battered. So I might give this to my brother, because it's got I think pole position, Galaxian, Pac-Man, Dig Dug. Seems to work, in that turn it on and the light comes on. Don't know whether it actually works properly yet, I've not tested it, but yeah. Anyway, that pretty much concludes that. I'm not sure whether I'm going to, or when I'm going to do another pickups video. I appreciate, this blank wall behind me droning on. It's not exactly the most exciting of the videos out on YouTube, so you know, just watch this space really. Hopefully you like the videos. You know, all feedback is appreciated, you know, positive or negative. You know, negative I can take as, you know, constructive criticism. You know, don't call me big nose or ugly bastard or something, and I won't get vexed. You know, anything about the content of or the manner of delivery, you know, welcome the feedback. I appreciate my last video, I think has had about 20 views, so you know, I'm hardly likely to be troubling some of the larger YouTubers out there. Just let me know what you think, you know, how can I spruce things up a little. Anyway, that's enough gabble. This is Darth Steve 333, concluding another pickups video. Maybe see you all soon.